Hey, Aaron.
Yeah?
Have you ever seen somebody stabbed in the stomach?
Yeah.
Oh. Have you ever seen somebody stabbed in the ass?
Yeah.
Oh, man. What about stabbed in the vag?
Yeah.
Damn. All right, what about... I got you. What about stabbed in the face?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Well, fuck. The poop's on me, I guess. We watched Stabbed in the Face. We watched it so you don't have to, so you know what time it is. What's up, Moon Goons? Welcome to Horrible Horror, the podcast where we watch the worst of the worst in horror movies. I'm your host, Mr. Marshall Hampton. With me, as always, is my good buddy, my co-host, Mr. Aaron Southworth. Aaron, how are you doing on this fine day?
Dude, I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty fantastic. And I'll tell you why I'm doing pretty good. Last weekend, I had my 20th high school reunion. 20 years, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm aware.
Yeah. Had my 20th high school reunion. I was just like, I might as well go, check it out. I'm thinking, how am I going to stack up? I'm doing pretty good, man. I think I'm doing pretty good. I'm pretty proud of myself. I kept the weight off compared to a lot of other people. So I'm doing all right.
Yeah, I got...
It was an ego boost.
I bet. I think mine's coming up in like September or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we graduated the same year. Different high schools, but same year.
This week, Stabbed in the Face. Before we get to that, first of all, Aaron, we've kind of been lax about this last few weeks, but so in case we have some new listeners, some new Moon Goons out there, why don't you run off the list of where they can find us and follow us and do all that?
Absolutely.
Handy-dandy.
Of course, you can always follow us on Facebook. You can follow us on Instagram. You can follow us on Twitter. Oh, that's a good sound.
That's a great sound.
Our Twitter handle is @SoBadIt'sScary. And of course, you can find us on our website, which is horriblehorrorpodcast.com. There you can listen to us, you can stream episodes, get the 401, and also browse our new clothing item. We got our merch booth. Our merch is finally open, so you can buy Moon Goon shirts and Moon Goon women shirts. A Horrible Horror Podcast shirt.
Let's be clear. The Moon Goon shirts aren't available yet. Right now, it's just our second new logo of Horrible Horror shirts.
I guess I should have rephrased that. Moon Goons can buy shirts
there.
That's what I meant to say. So sorry, but and you can also listen to us on iTunes, listen to us on Podbean, listen to us on Google Play, listen to us on iHeartRadio, and listen to us on Speaker.com.
Yes,
so
that's everything.
We got a lot of platforms.
Yeah, you covered them. You covered the shop for me. Yeah, we got the online shop up, so you can get some T-shirts. Moving on,
we're gonna be adding koozies there too.
Yeah, I've been lazy. That's my fault. I need to get them up there.
Well, I'm glad I got you on radio. Jesus Christ, I got you now.
Yeah.
I got you committed. We gotta get.
I can edit this out though.
Bastard.
Also, speaking of all the places you can find us and helping us out, I want to say thanks to Noah Aguirre. I hope I said your name properly for your donation on our Patreon page. So yeah, guys, if you're out there, you listen, you like the show, you want to help us out, you can throw a little extra cash our way on our Patreon page. Really helps us out with show costs and just maintenance and upkeep for everything. So Noah, thank you very much for that. I'm glad you're listening. Continue listening.
Thank you very much.
Now, before we get to today's main course, when I was going through looking for movies to do, I found, a while back we did Zombie Decadence. Chris Sample is one of his personal faves.
Right.
And I remember talking about that at the time when we did that episode, like, oh yeah, there's a Zombie Decadence 2. We're going to have to do that sometime. So I watched it. Because you know what? We should check it out. That may be the worst movie in the history of movies.
Whoa.
And I say this, Chris, I'm sorry, buddy. You are going to be sorely disappointed. And here's what I mean by that. I'm actually kind of pissed off at Full Moon, and it's not the first time they've done this either, or other people have done it, but it's an insult to the movie fans and movie watchers what they do with this movie. Zombie Decadence 2 is just creepazoids re-slashed with a few like strip club scenes thrown in here and there.
What?
It has nothing to do with zombies. It's just creepazoids repackaged with some fucking lame ass security footage of a strip club every now and then. That's it.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been notorious for changing the titles of movies and doing things like that. But to completely say this is a sequel to a movie.
Which the original movie came out in like 2010, 12, 15, somewhere in the, not that long ago. And then they're saying the sequel was Creepers, which came out in like the 80s.
Dude, and it's like a rough,
yeah.
Oh,
it is the worst thing I've ever seen. And my dumbass watched it, kept thinking like, there's somewhere they gotta like put something new into this,
Full
right?
Moon's been doing that for a while, but that's some top shelf shit right there.
It is the worst thing I've ever seen.
Wow.
And like, it angered me.
I can tell.
It pissed me off that they even had that they had the gall and audacity to do this and repackage it as a new movie. Like, are you fucking? Luckily, I didn't pay anything. It was on Hulu for free. I'm like, but like, Jesus Christ, Full Moon.
They honey dick you bad.
They do.
There's like, come in.
And I felt bad for Chris. I'm like, oh, Chris is gonna be so excited. We get this movie. I turned on like, what? Wait, this looks like Creepazoids. What's going on here? And then they just show like every now and then they'll show like throw up like a 4-in-1 picture of like security cameras in a strip club, and that's it. And then they go right back to like like Linnea Quigley in the bunkers and with the dumbass shit going on. And,
dude, that's crazy.
And you don't, they
didn't have that little baby mutant thing at the end stripping on a pole or anything.
That would have been fine. I know, no, yeah.
That would have been
it's
kind of interesting.
the most. Oh my god! So guys, if you ever see it, just stay away from that.
Damn.
It's completely. Don't even bother.
Damn, it's rough opening up, ripping on Full Moon.
Yeah, I know, and they're in our Hall of Fame, but
yeah.
goddamn, they even fucking Wayne Gretzky misses a shot every now and then, but or
yeah, but he doesn't like go into the goal and drop a load right down there and call it a hat trick.
I was trying to think of a better analogy, but I was like, but
I saved you.
Yeah, yeah. Fucking Full Moon, you're on notice, man. You might be the first people to ever get removed from our Hall of Fame if you keep this shit up.
And that's an insult.
That is an insult.
Grave insult to your good name. You don't want your good name of Full Moon to be sullied.
So, all right. Now that I got that little rant out of my way, let's move on to Stabbed in the Face. This movie was released in 2004.
Stabbed in the face.
It's an indie movie, so there was no release, just straight to video DVD.
I gotta say, I love the title.
Love the title too.
Yeah,
love the title. Even like the cover artwork for the DVD, even though you can tell it's complete amateurish, I still loved it though.
It's very aggressive.
It's very aggressive, and you look like you're like, oh, you're in for something good here.
It's like a comic book drawing of a woman's face getting a machete through like the mouth. There's
like 6 different bladed instruments going in and out of her head,
and the side of her head, and their eyes are whited out. It's kind of comic booky looking, but it's
sort of, but yeah, it's graphic novel, but it's cool, and you're like, oh man, but. As soon as you crack open,
it's that lady.
But as soon as you crack open that DVD box, that's where the goodness ends.
You just get like a Best Buy print on the like a blank DVD.
Yeah.
But hey, man, it's an indie.
Yeah,
that's what you got to do.
I get that, but all right. So the movie is written by Jared Scallions, directed by Jason Matherne. Fuck it. Matherne. Fuck it. He's got 8 credits as director. He's directed such fine movies as Attack of the Cockface Killer, Goregasm, Peep Show, Creep Show, Grime Wave, Cockface 3, and Silk Scream, or just some of his fine other movies.
They sound lovely.
Yes, they sound
Cockface
so great.
Killer.
The Cockface Killer. When you first hear that, I mean, of course you think it made me think of like, okay, this is really going to date us, and I don't even know if I should say this.
I just talked about my 20th high school reunion.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. But all right, way back in like the 70s, there's a porn movie called The Devil and Miss Jones.
Oh yeah,
and there's a scene where Miss Jones is in hell. I think it's Miss Jones, and she fucks Cyrano de Bergerac, but instead of a nose, he's got a giant
cock nose.
Cock nose.
Yes.
So when I think Attack of the Cockface Killer, I'm just thinking of that. I can't think of that guy with just like giant cock nose.
Cyrano with his dick nose.
Cyrano de Cockiac, Dickerac.
I remember watching that porn. It was so weird because she's like squatting up and down. Always like, oh, it's so strange. It's so strange.
Weird.
I think Ron Jeremy's dressed like a devil.
He
He's playing
is.
the piano with his dick.
Yeah. It's a really, really fucking weird one.
Where are we going? Let's get back on track.
Yeah. But anyway, so you can find this gem on Amazon. It's the only place you can find it. You have to buy it on disc, though. You can't. It's not streaming. It's one you actually have to purchase. And the cast ain't anyone you've ever heard of. Not a single. Fucking. We're not even talking about the cast in this one. We're just gonna fucking move on because it ain't worth it. All right, so
all the people who are like, "Oh yeah, I made that movie about 12 years ago. I'm gonna listen." And they're like, "You don't fucking matter." It's like, oh,
if they ever hear this, I doubt it. So we open in a high school classroom where once again all of our main characters pretty much are in the same goddamn class. Once again, the shitty music plays as the camera goes from one character stereotype to the next. Basically, quick breakdown. We have Joseph the jock, who looks more like a skinny goody two shoes than a jock. We have the heavy metal tough guy Terry. We have another heavy metal guy Cameron, who's more of like kind of a heavy metal burnout type game, with, like long hair,
stoner-y type.
Yeah. We have the blonde cheerleader Lena, who's dating Joseph. There's Joe's sister, who's also a cheerleader, and then we have a nerdy guy named Bruce. And then we have this bitchy, self-absorbed blonde Madeline, who goes by Maddie, and who's dating Bruce, but only basically bosses him around and never puts out. And we get some more characters later, but that's our main group. Basically, as soon as that high school scene's over, we jump to a Halloween costume party the night before Halloween at Mark's house. Now, we meet Mark. He's just another character.
So really quick, in that high school scene where they're all sitting around, they're passing notes, and they're trying to represent their characters non-verbally. I kind of liked it. I thought it was okay. But we do see one of the person's notebooks, and it's 1987.
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
So it's set in the 80s.
Yes. Thanks for clearing that up. I would have skipped over that. So we're at the house party, and there's this really, really shitty band named The Poots that are playing their hit song, The Poops on You. Now, this reminded me so much of the house parties that like we had way back in the day.
Yes.
Like when we were like 17, 18, 19 or so.
So right off the bat, I'm like, yes.
I mean, first thing I'm thinking was the legendary performances of the Dog Robbers.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking of too.
Shout out to the Dog Robbers.
Shout out to the Dog Robbers. Brian Carson, who came out with a cape, no shirt, and then lipstick on his chest and said, "I heart party."
Yeah.
Which is fucking epic.
Yeah, so exactly. That's the first thing that pops in my head.
Yeah, so right off the bat, though, I'm like, I'm in.
You're in.
You know, I'm like, I like where this is going.
Okay.
I like this. And it was just shitty high school band.
Oh, yeah.
Just punk rock. People having a great time.
Yeah.
Silly lyrics. It was fun.
Well,
it was fun.
I'm glad you mentioned, silly high school band and silly lyrics, because I want to treat you guys all to a taste of the hit song The Poops on You by The Poots. So sit back and enjoy this musical phenomenon.
This one's called Poops on You. This is a real disco ball. Working all day for low pay. You come up and bug me every day. I fart in your cup, baby, hackaloo. You think you got me, but the poop's on you. Poop's on you! Poop's on you! Poop's on you! Poop's on you! Mixing up smoothie full of boobies. Live a life of crime and sci-fi movies. Knocking back beers by the pool. You smelly skagawag, the shit's on you. Poop's on you! The poop's on you! Goddamn poop's on you!
So yeah, that is Poops on You by The Poots. So, I hope you enjoyed that little piece of.
I liked it. I liked it. I mean, yeah, it's kind of reminiscent of Belleville Bops.
I mean, it really like those bands, they're rocking those 3 chords that they know. It's the simplest of musical riffs.
It's fun.
Yeah. One thing I did learn by watching the credits, I'll just cover it now because it doesn't fucking matter really. But the guy in the band where the guitarist wearing the hockey mask in the movie, that's actually our lead actor, Joe.
Yeah.
Joe is a member of the Poots. But anyway, yeah. So that's just a taste. And their songs go on for like the next 5 minutes. This entire house party they're playing in the background.
So this house party scene, they're building the characters. We're going to go into it here in a minute, but they're building the characters. But this scene is pretty long. It's pretty lengthy.
It really is. It's
and the movie's not long movie.
No, it's not that long. It's like an hour
80 minutes.
20, 80. Yes, it's not that long. So anyway, like I said, we listened to this music for several minutes. It's just fucking awful in my opinion. It gets worse, but at the same time,
I think it gets better. How dare you? Dude, the poops. Okay.
So we meet Mark here, who, by the way, is like a chubby 30-year-old guy, like thinning hair. He's supposed to be playing like a high school kid. He's like a chubby 30-year-old.
Okay, yeah, the high school students are all in their early 30s, maybe late 20s.
Yeah.
But goddamn, none of them look like they're in high school.
No. Maybe Sharon at best. But everybody else is like
way old.
Yeah.
Way old.
So, we have Metal Burnout. I think at this point I didn't know his name. I just called him Metal Burnout, but it's Cameron. He tries putting the moves on this nerdy girl who we never see again after this party. He strikes out. We go to Mark's bedroom where he's hitting the bong with Kevin, who is another Burnout character in a cowboy hat.
And the room is completely splayed with horror movie posters
and sci-fi,
posters. I mean, just completely
and like
covering
old
the wall.
school ones too, like
right.
from the 50s, 60s, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Mark and Kevin are debating which is better, Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th.
Classic.
At this party, this is where we also meet Star. She's the dark-haired slutty girl. Meanwhile, Terry, Metal Guy 1 at this point in my nose, he's having like fantasy daydreams about slitting the nerdy guy's throat.
Yeah, it's kind of like when they introduce Terry, it's like they're cutting through the crowd of the party. Like they're moving through the hips. It's kind of a cool shot. It's not a bad shot because there's all these people partying. Everyone's in costume, so it's kind of fun. But it navigates through the crowd and closes up on Terry as the music's playing. He's smoking a cigarette, looking tough. And he's staring at Bruce.
Yeah.
Just giving Bruce the fucking death stare. Bruce is the nerdy guy, and he has this fantasy of him slitting his throat.
Yeah.
And blood spurting everywhere.
As people just laugh. Now, we did meet Terry. He was in the high school scene at the beginning. That's where you first see him. So the Poots, they finally finished their set, if you will. And, the party's kind of dying down. The main group's sitting around talking. Joe ends up telling the group a story about someone called the three-legged woman named Mrs. Cooper. And it's this old, like, supposed to be a ghost story. So he says that one night she went out to feed her goats, and she ends up finding her husband fucking some other woman in the barn. Now, when the movie cuts to this sex scene, I swear to God, at first I thought the director just like spliced in a pirated sex scene from a porno movie.
Yeah.
Because this scene is pretty fucking graphic, especially for this quality of a movie. And it didn't help that when you first cut to the sex scene, that the screen goes from like full screen to like a vertical letterbox. Like it's just like black. And so it really looks like he just like cut and paste a porn clip right into the movie.
And all you see is this chick riding reverse cowgirl, completely naked.
You see you basically see everything except for like dick penetrating.
That's the only thing that's missing, and man, it could very well be happening.
It could be.
I'm just like, I was starting like, holy shit, whoa. I'm like looking. I'm like, where is?
Yeah.
God damn.
It's not until Mrs. Cooper actually enters the barn and interacts with him that I realize, okay, this is actually the movie and not like a spliced in porn scene.
Because goddamn.
Yeah. So Mrs. Cooper, she takes a machete off the barn wall.
If I ever caught you fucking again, I told you. And her acting is choice.
Oh God, I wish I had a clip of her. I really do.
Oh.
I should have gotten a clip of her. So the naked girl gets off the husband and cowers like oddly against the wall, like her hands covering most of her face, but she looks like she's about to start making like bird or duck calls instead of like with her hands. She looks so strange up against the wall while, after an Oscar-worthy display of acting between Mrs. Cooper and her husband.
Yeah, but Miss Cooper doesn't give a fuck about her. She's completely focused on Mr. Cooper.
That is true. She ends up killing him with a machete.
So was she banging with Mr. Cooper?
So yes, she was banging with Mr. Cooper.
Banging with Mr. Cooper.
Nicely done.
All right.
She kills the husband with the machete. The naked girl runs out of the barn into the house. The mistress, the naked girl at this point, who's still butt-ass naked, calls the cops, but in comes Mrs. Cooper and chases the mistress out of the room in a really weirdly blocked scene. It's so odd. It's like the naked girl's on the phone. Mrs. Cooper bursts in the door to like get her, but then the naked girl runs past Miss Cooper out of the room, and Miss Cooper just kind of stands there and lets it happen. Like, she could have easily like swung and killed her, grabbed her, but it's so weird looking. Like, it doesn't look right.
Well, it was also strange because the naked girl's running around and she's doing something kind of smart. She's locking all the doors. She's like locking the doors as she's going, like running around, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense. That's a pretty good idea. She's outside and maybe she doesn't have the key to get back in.
Right.
But then she gets in and then she runs away, and you think she, like you said, you think she'd do something to like stop her, kill her, stab her, because she's got Miss Cooper's like maybe 57 years old. Maybe. She's old as dirt,
and she's so frail. She's a twig. The naked girl could have easily taken her out.
Yeah,
but it's just a really weird looking.
Everything's a little shaky, a little weird. Yeah.
We cut to the cops pulling up outside, and I swear to God, here you can see one of the cops trying to hold up the siren/flasher on the dashboard as the car pulls up. He's trying to like hold it up there so it doesn't fall off. The cops order the wife to come out of the barn. The wife, who's now covered in blood, still holding the machete, refuses and tries to argue that she's justified in killing her cheating husband. The cop's like, fuck it, shoot her. Yeah. She dies.
Yes, she killed some people. Yes, she's wielding a machete, but they're a good 15, 20 feet apart. Yeah. She's not like coming at them.
She's just standing there. She's covered in blood, holding a machete, and she's just swinging and they're like, lady,
there's no more sense talking
to
her.
They're like, freeze, put it down. And she's like, that son of a bitch, I told him I'd kill him if he ever called me again, blah, blah, blah. And they're just like, fuck it, bang, just shoot her dead.
You just hear a woman yap in her mouth. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Jesus.
I'm joking, it's a joke.
So she dies, and honestly, you said that she killed Kobe, but we never see what happens to the naked girl. Last we see, she runs out of that room, and you never see her again.
She says she killed her, from what I understand.
I don't remember saying that. She said, I killed my husband.
And that bitch got what she deserved. She said something to that
Yeah,
effect.
but I'm just saying, you never see it. You have no idea what happens to her. So at this point, we go back to the party. The kids at the party.
That's the story.
That's the story.
The three-legged.
Which again,
whatever.
I don't even understand why they call it a three-legged woman. She doesn't have a third leg.
It'd make more sense if it was a third-legged man.
That would make more sense.
Right?
Yeah,
or
definitely.
Does she have a mystery dick that we don't know about?
We have no idea. Like, there's no. It's just fucking retarded. Like, why call a three-legged woman? There's no deformity. There's no extra appendage. It's just retarded. I don't know. So Joe wraps up the story by saying that on every Halloween night, you can still see her ghost wandering around the house and the barn. So
Guess what happens, guys?
Yeah, so they all decide that they're gonna go party at that house for Halloween night tomorrow night.
Yeah,
and that they're gonna meet up at Mark's house in the afternoon, and they'll leave from there. So we cut to Joe in his bedroom cutting out a newspaper article about a local girl who was murdered by an escaped convict. Turns out that this girl was Joe's sister, Julie. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Because this, at this point, makes zero fucking sense. Considering I skipped over a scene, but we see his sister in the classroom during that opening scene. And there's a short scene of Lena and the sister and Terry out on the bleachers.
Yeah.
Immediately following that before the party. So, we just see her, but now all of a sudden she's dead. And we don't even know when she was killed. It's just suddenly she's dead.
It's a time shift.
Yeah. Like, we have some unknown time jump that, if that is the case, how fucking hard would it be for these people to throw up on the screen 1 year later or however long has passed? Right. But they do nothing.
We find out later.
Like the last 2 minutes of the movie.
Right.
But at this point, it's like, what the fuck is going on? So anyway, the camera continues to pan around Joe's room and his desk for like a good 2 minutes. It's fucking forever.
And all we see are like baseball trophies and tennis trophies and football trophies.
He's the athlete.
And a She-Hulk comic.
And a garbage pail kid on his corkboard and some pictures. The amount of time it spends on these images is mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Because it has no bearing on this movie really at all. And it's just like, I swear it's like,
I get it.
We need filler.
I get it.
Yeah, we got it. He's a jock. The Letterman jacket gave that away already.
Yeah. A Saints helmet.
A Saints helmet and a Seahawks jacket.
And bowling trophies out the ass.
Yeah. It's like they just, it's independent. They're like, what trophies can we get? Oh, well, we got some bowling trophies from a yard sale. Throw them up there.
Everybody bring your trophies. If you got any, we need to put them up.
Yeah, he's got a Saints helmet and a Seahawks jacket.
A golf bag. Like, it's really a straight up hodgepodge of like random trophies.
Yeah, it really is. So,
but a lot of them.
Yes. Anyway, so that goes on forever. Next, Joe just grabs his shit for his overnight trip, heads out to his car where his mother tells him that it will be good for Joey to get away from all the newspapers and policemen. So again, I'm like, what the fuck, man? Was his sister killed like last week?
Like recently?
A few days ago?
Yeah.
Or fucking yesterday? Like, what in the blue hell is going on in this movie right now? Because that's something you say, like, if it's fresh, like, okay, we need to get you need some time, you need to get away.
You need some time to get away
from all this.
All the reporters and all the police.
Yeah,
so
which
that
means
gives you the inclination that this is
it just happened.
Recently.
Yeah, not like a year ago where like, okay, you're moving on, you're past it now. So yeah, it's really fucking confusing and it's just bad script writing. It's just awful. So we cut to all of our kids now gathered at Mark's house, loading up into their various cars, getting ready to head out. Maddie and Terry, they bitch and argue back and forth, and it gets really annoying really fast because neither one of them can act, and the writing sucks anyway.
And it's just, she's the worst.
She's
basically just trying to portray her as this uptight, uppity bitch who no one really likes, but for some reason she's hanging out with the crew. She's Bruce's
exactly. Like,
girlfriend.
nobody likes her, but why is it? Honestly, the fact that Bruce and Maddie are there makes zero sense because nobody seems to like either one of them. So why are they there in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, I understand there's every once in a while you'll have pretty stark differences in your friends and your group of friends here and there. Like you can have, like a bunch of skateboarders with a square or, a bunch of nerds with a tough guy or something. There are those occasional little like deviations from stereotyping. But it's so stark that this girl is so fucking horrible, and she's dating the nerd in this group of like punk rock kids. That why the fuck would they even keep her around?
Yeah, exactly. I thought the same thing. Like, there's no Maddie and Bruce shouldn't be in this group at all.
It's hitting it too hard.
Yeah. So, okay. Now at this point, before I go on, I want to do a roll call again because just for the sake of my sanity and trying to keep all these idiots straight, because we've met more characters now and there's a lot of them.
A lot of characters.
So like I said, we have Joe the jock, his cheerleading girlfriend Lena the blonde, Bruce the nerd, the bitchy girlfriend of Bruce Maddie, the metalhead badass Terry, Burnout 1 Kevin, Burnout Metalhead 2 with long hair Cameron. Then we have Burnout 3 Kevin. Then we have the nice good girl kind of virgin-esque girl Sharon, who's again seems very out of place there.
She just showed up.
Yeah. And then we have Star, the slutty girl. And now we also have Terry's girlfriend who came out of fucking nowhere, who's named Dawn, I believe. But she just, again, like we haven't seen her at all until now. It's like, so all these people are just getting thrown at us.
How many people is that?
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 12.
Jesus
12.
Christ.
Yeah.
They really fucking fill it up, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, it's just goddamn, it's so many people to keep track of and trying to keep names and everything. It's insane. So
bear with us.
Yeah. Anyway, we cut now to some guy eating marshmallows coming out of a gas station as our group's convoy pulls up for a pit stop. The guy with the marshmallows walks off as the group enters the gas station.
And he looks pretty shady.
He does.
They even set the music. Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah.
This guy's shady. Look out.
Yeah, there's nothing subtle in this movie at all. Everything's just smack you over the head with a bat. Inside Bruce stops to watch a news report on the TV about a mass murderer named Richard Cork who's escaped or on the loose.
A recently escaped psycho killer has escaped the jail not too far from here.
I love how it's apparently so easy to escape from jails in these movies. Like, it's the easiest thing in the world to do now.
And apparently get money.
Yeah. Like, exactly. Get clothes, money, a car.
To buy marshmallows. Because guess what? Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
It's that fucking shady dude eating marshmallows.
Yeah, we cut to Cork, and it's like I said, it's the man we just saw eating marshmallows. We follow him as he walks up to his car. He opens the passenger side door, and he flips back like
a sleeping
bag flap, and to reveal a woman in her bra and panties tied up and gagged. He removes the gag and feeds her a marshmallow.
He shoves a marshmallow in her mouth and puts the gag back on and flips it over.
Yeah, and he drives off with her. So
you gotta keep her going, gotta keep her fed.
Yeah,
sugary puff will do great.
Yeah. Inside our group, they're either paying for food or they're stealing it and drinks. Meanwhile, Joe's outside talking to two drunken locals. Again, in the scene that doesn't need to be in here at all.
Now you can tell they're in the South.
They're definitely in the South.
They're in the South because it's got to be Cajun country because it's.
I think it's Louisiana.
Yeah, they had the Saints helmet, so I'm guessing it's Louisiana.
But he also had a Seahawks jacket.
It's true.
I thought the same thing. Like, oh, it's Saints helmet, but Seahawks jacket. That's really fucking confusing.
But it's definitely the South because
I
hear where y'all kids right
here.
Oh,
Cajun.
Y'all got some crawdads right here.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I agree. It's definitely, but the scene is so pointless. And first of all, he comes down. He walks down a big wooden staircase, so it looks like he's about to go. He's like on a boat dock. Like,
right?
Oh, they're gonna take boats from here on.
It is a boat dock.
Yeah, thank you. And he's just talking to two local guys, and the one guy's like, "So, what position you?" All this scene is like one more excuse to hit us over the head that Joe is a fucking athlete.
But he goes, well, I heard you guys kind of suck this year. Isn't that place where that girl got killed?
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, well, our defensive coordinator is the coach's son, so he gets to play whatever he wants.
It shifts from high school sports to, isn't that some girl who got cut up and got murdered and killed? And he goes, that's my sister, man. What?
Yeah, like that's the whole scene. And then next time we see Joe, he's back in the car. So where did he wander off to, and for what? Why is this in the movie? It doesn't need to. It drives me nuts. It doesn't need to be here.
But he's so nonchalant. He's like, that's my sister, man.
And if you really have to have Joe talking to two local idiots, can't they just be staying next to the gas pumps by the car? Why are they on a boat dock all of a sudden? They were just on a road. Now they're on a boat dock. What the hell?
I didn't even think about that, but you're right. It doesn't make any sense.
No. So, all right. Anyway.
Man, I've only been to Louisiana once, so I don't think there's just random boat docks here and there.
I don't know. So we cut to this house or a cabin where Cork and his victim are. He drags her over to a wall, props her up against it. The whole time the girl's crying and pleading with him. He pulls back another sheet to reveal the dead, naked body of some other girl. Now, I'm not sure if this body is supposed to be burnt or what, but the body is just like black and gray. It looks like it's supposed to be covered in ash, maybe?
No, I think it's just...
But there's no
been there for a long time, like starting to turn.
Okay, because I'm saying there's no marks on her at all, and
there's a few like I didn't think it was that bad. The way I got it was this is an old body that's
been
there for a while.
But here's my problem with that.
Spots that are a little decayed here and there.
Here's my problem with that though, because all right, so Cork, this is what I'm talking about. He tilts the dead girl's head towards his other victim, and these long strands of like gooey blood runs out of the dead girl's mouth, which Cork starts licking and then making out with the dead person. So if you're saying that body's been there for a long time, why would this gooey blood be there? Wouldn't the blood, if she's that decaying, wouldn't the blood have pretty much not be flowing at that point?
I don't have a problem with it. It was thick, it was viscous. It wasn't like it was thin, watery blood. It could be collecting, draining. I don't have a problem with it.
All right.
That's
it bothered me, but all right.
I feel like you're dissecting a little bit too much. With these indie films, man, you got to give them a little bit of longer leash.
I try to, but I'm just trying to figure. I'm trying to figure motives and like not much motives, but I'm trying to figure out. I'm just trying to figure out what's happening. Like, is there a pattern? Is like what is going on with these victims? Why, But and then, so you can't tell if the woman's been stabbed, burned, or she's just been there that long. She's just came, but if she's been there that long, why she's got like fresh blood stuff coming out of her mouth? Nothing.
It wasn't fresh,
but it just doesn't makes sense to me. Like, I'm trying to get a timeline here, and like we've already been proven there is like no fucking timeline here. This movie is insane.
Longer leash, Marshall.
All right,
let that doggy run a little bit.
All right. I gotta get one of those retractable leashes. Let him go.
I understand you gotta pull back every once in a while, but you gotta let that leash go a little bit. These indies, you gotta let them go a little bit.
So, all right, you're right.
You're like, now I gotta rethink this.
Yeah, rethink this. All right. Anyway, so outside, the convoy of cars, they all pull up now to this house, and hearing this, Cork tosses the dead girl into a closet, just like plop, throws her in there. Which, by the way, never see again. Never comes back. Even though this cabin is now going to be populated with 12 people, but nobody ever opens up this closet door to find a dead person. Which, by the way, would be, if she has been there that long, would be stinking to high heaven and smell like shit. And nobody comments, like, what's that smell? So there's another fucking loophole for you right there.
All right, you tug on that leash a little bit now. Just give it a little tug. Little tug. All right.
Sorry, but...
Yeah, give it a little tug now. Okay.
All right, so anyway, Cork lays down up against the... He drags the other victim out with him. And he just, like, goes out to some tree. He lays up against it, puts his back to the tree with the victim between his legs, wrapping his arms around her. And he just... falls asleep like Rip Van fucking Winkle.
Like, but that's like a time lapse shot.
It's like
it does a time lapse.
It's like
the
afternoon
sun sets
and it's like middle of the night now.
So literally, the actor and actress had to sit there. For
I know.
Who knows how
like
long?
8 hours or something. Like I was like, are you seriously doing?
And she's in her underwear.
Yeah.
In her brawn panties.
I thought the same thing. Like
in like the fucking swamp area.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
Like, if they had somehow, if this is the one thing they had special effects for, like how they did it.
Good job.
But really, that's where you chose to spend your special effect budget on a time lapse of a guy up against a tree, which really, again, has no bearing on the movie.
It was so strange. Like, if he's this killer crazy guy, I get it. It's kind of a weird thing to do, but he falls asleep.
Yeah.
With his victim, like, in a cuddle position. Yeah. He cuddles his victim.
Yeah. And she's not, like, tied to him. She's not handcuffed.
She's got her hands tied behind her back. That's it.
But, like, there's no restraints. Like, this is the sloppiest killer. Like, no wonder he got caught in the first place. How the fuck this guy managed to escape? Because he's a fucking idiot.
Maybe they're on the honor system there.
Jesus. just be back by midnight, all right? So anyway,
things are a little lax in the South.
Yeah, time passes. The girl, like I said, just slips out of his grip because he's a fucking asleep, and she just gets up and takes off running into the woods. Where she does stop, take a break, and tries to use the tree trunk to she does actually. She used the tree trunk to like get out of her binds.
I'm so annoyed by the fact that she slips away from the killer. And instead of running down the road, where there's civilization, you'll run into maybe something. She runs in the fucking woods.
What? Yeah, or you could have run back to the cabin where you heard cars just pull up.
Yes.
Again, god damn this movie. This leash is getting it's getting shorter and shorter. All right, so. Pretty much, actually, she gets out of the binds, but it's like the instant she does that, Cork pops up behind her and
he's
quickly.
There.
Yeah, he's just there
with sleeping bag in tow.
It's not even sleeping bag; it's his jacket.
Oh,
it's his. He uses his jacket to wrap around the girl's head and tie her head to the tree with his jacket, and like one of the sleeves in her mouth as a new gag. So she's now tied to the tree with a jacket,
which is fucking lame.
It's super lame. Again, her hands are free. She could just go zoop
Or she could just squat down.
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure
Well, I was
scratch
saying
her
you
head
squat
a
and you
little.
push up with your hand and you're out.
It's the loosest tie. You can see her struggling and try to keep her body against the tree as she's wiggling back and forth because she's trying to like show that this is holding her there, but you can see it like slowly falling off.
Yeah,
and
it's
she's
so
like,
bad.
Maybe I shouldn't wiggle so much.
Again, this is like the worst mass murder ever.
Yeah.
And Cork just backs away a few steps, like admire his shitty work.
That's a really loose knot, but man, it's keeping her there.
And then he rips off her bra, and this is where he uses her bra to tie her hands up behind the tree. But again, she had ample time to, I don't know, get away.
She also gave him a hand.
And also he pulls the bra off, just like he just grabs like the snap area, like right between the cleavage, and just pulls forward, which would be impossible. The bra would have to be unsnapped, unhinged, and so that means the bra was already undone for this to happen.
That's a good point.
The bra would not, if he pulled it down or over her head or something, maybe, but he just pulls it straight off. Like, again, that's not how bras work, people.
Maybe it's just not good quality bra.
Ah, God, this movie's gonna give me a migraine. I hate this movie. Anyway, so yeah.
She basically gives him his hands.
Yeah. He's like, here you go.
And he ties her hands behind her back with the bra. Nice tits, by the way.
Yeah, pretty nice, pretty nice. With her tied and gagged now, he pulls out a straight razor from up his sleeve, which again, how does that stay there? Like, pull it out of your boot, your sock, totally get it. How do you pull it out of your sleeve?
Without it falling out everywhere?
Yeah, like it would have been flopping nowhere. It's like, again, like, so, and then he flips open the straight razor and he uses it to slowly, like, slice off one of her nipples. And that's the big gore. And that's all we see. And then
it's pretty graphic. You know, it's not the best effect, but still,
no, but
it's pretty graphic.
It's
got a good shock value because I don't like that kind of stuff.
It's like, oh, that makes you.
I'm like, hey, you know, but she's just kind of going, oh.
Yeah, I think she'd be screaming a hell of a lot louder for somebody cutting your nipple off.
For such a shocking scene, because it was like that kind of shit gets me. You know, I don't like that rapey torture. That's just not my thing.
Yeah,
and that's something that's like, oh fuck, you know. But she's just going, oh. Dang! Ooh.
Dang!
Like,
oh, dang! Not again!
Like, her reaction's so mild when this horrible thing has happened. Oh gosh!
So we cut to Terry and Bruce wandering around the outside of the house looking for firewood. Inside, all the girls are sitting around talking about how and why Dawn and Terry are even together. Outside, Bruce tells all the guys who have now showed up, because it was just two of them, now all of a sudden everybody's there.
Everyone's there.
That, oh, by the way, guys, there's a serial killer on the loose. And then Terry eventually starts a bonfire outside. Inside, Lena's wandering around the house alone. And we start seeing signs of ghosts at work, because doors, cabinets start opening, closing by themselves. Lena ends up talking to Joe about how their sleeping bag is missing. And Joe thinks, oh, it may have fallen off the roof of their car while they were driving. So Terry's like, here, take my car and, just go look for it.
So wait. Let's go back.
Yes, let's do that.
So the ghost stuff?
Yeah.
It's already happening?
Yeah. We see cabinet doors open and close.
But it's not as, like, blatant. Isn't it, like, subtle? Like, people don't notice it.
Nobody's
I don't remember it. Yeah,
nobody's noticed. It's just shit that's happening.
You, the viewer, see.
Yes. Lena's in the kitchen. She's behind her back. You clearly see cabinet doors open and close.
And I was like,
behind her.
What the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
So we've got a serial killer.
There's so much fucking shit in this movie.
And now
it's
there's
too
like
much.
a ghost happening. Like ghost shit's going on, because this is the haunted three-legged woman goat place.
Exactly. That's it.
And now there's ghost stuff happening.
So yeah, we have a serial killer in the woods, and we have ghosts
there might be
now.
some ghost things happening here. Okay.
So yeah, Terry gives Joe his card. Joe goes off to look for a sleeping bag along the road. And now everyone's sitting around the bonfire, smoking weed, drinking, talking, whatnot.
Party.
Star just straight up asks Mark, hey, come off into the woods with me so I can fuck you. That's basically exactly what it is.
Essentially, that's where she goes.
Yeah. So they have sex in the woods, which lasts for a whopping 6 seconds, and then they head back to the fire. Maddie sends Bruce inside to make her another drink, and this is where Bruce notices that a lantern has turned on by itself. So
that was my first inclination of the ghost stuff. I didn't see the other stuff, but yes, more ghost stuff is happening. Huh.
And he's but instead of being freaked out, he's like, you know what, I'm just going to, that's convenient. He takes the lantern, and then he starts, pries open some door, and
you think this is the
around.
Character who's the more analytical one.
Right.
The nerdy one, the one with the tucked-in shirt, the glasses, the perfect hair. This is the type of stereotypical character to be more analytical and be like, what is going on? Why don't I understand? And be like a little more freaked out from a random lighting lantern coming on. But he's like, sweet.
Convenient, all right.
Like a stoner character, that would make more sense.
It would, I 100% agree with you there. Yeah. So, like I said, at this point, the movie doesn't know what it wants to be. I mean, is it a slasher with a serial killer?
Or
is it going to be a supernatural ghost story movie?
Jinx.
Because right now it's trying to be both and failing miserably. So anyway, as soon as Star and Mark get back to the fire and the others, I shit you not, Star instantly says, "Hey Kevin, let's go fuck in the barn." I mean, she doesn't say fuck, but it's like, come on.
You want to go show me that barn?
Yeah. And again, this is fucking ridiculous. No girl is this slutty, especially a high school girl. I mean, at this point, Star is a certified sex addict or nymphomaniac.
With daddy issues.
Seriously, she goes from fucking one guy, granted it was only about 6 seconds, comes back and immediately says, all right, let's go fuck in the barn now to some completely different dude. I mean, they're supposed to be in high school.
Hey, man, she didn't get that nut off.
I don't care. This is bad, right? Nobody is like this. There's no girl in high school like this.
I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it because what a good kid. You take care of the boys at the party. Atta girl.
If they would have just did a simple, I guess it's asking way too much of this fucking movie. But if they would have said, oh yeah, she's got, she is like a nympho, or she's got, something.
I thought they kind of alluded to that. No, they did. They did allude to that because they talked about how
they just call her a slut.
But he said, I got a blowjob from her when they were
during the scene, he's like, that's all you got is a blow. I fucked her the other night.
During the scene when they were packing up before they left, he did mention he got a blowjob from her. And he's like, dude, she's such a slut. I can't believe you only got a blowjob.
Right.
So they did hint.
I'm not arguing the fact that they argue the fact that she's a slut. But I'm saying for a high school girl to be this slutty is so beyond reason, I think, that it's crazy.
Let that leash out, buddy. Let that leash out a little bit. Let it out. Let that doggy run a little bit. I know we had to pull it back a little bit, but I'm going to let this one slide.
So, all right, Bruce has now made his way down to the basement, and he's snooping around. He raises the lantern up, and then behind him, in the light, illuminates the body of what looks like a dead girl, kind of bloody,
covered in blood.
Yeah, that's it.
It's not the dead girl that we saw earlier. That was like
it's not the black and gray one. No, that one's in a closet somewhere. And it's not.
And that's the thing. I thought maybe, is that her? Wait, no, that's not her.
No.
She's covered in blood. And she's got her eyes open. And
are they open? I couldn't.
Yeah, she's got her eyes open. She almost looks like she's alive, just covered in blood.
Right. Okay, yeah, you're right. She has her eyes, but she's dead. And that's it. Like, who the fuck is this girl? Where does this come from? What's going on? And then we also see now Cork is hiding in the shadows too in the basement. So somehow he has now come back from slicing the girl's nipple off, snuck back into the house and down into the basement without any of these people seeing or hearing him. And it's just...
And why would he come back
exactly.
to this area
he's
where
a wanted
people partying?
Yeah, he's a wanted escaped mass murdering felon.
Who just killed someone and has another body there.
And it's like, you would get as far away from people as you possibly could.
Unless you wanted to commit more murders.
Right. He's dumbass, so maybe. But make that 12 people, even a mass murder, be like, yeah, that's too much.
Yeah.
1 or 2, yeah, maybe. But
12
people at one time. I mean, no. This again, just a retarded, shitty storyline, bad writing here. Anyway, we cut to Kevin and Star entering the barn. She pulls out a tit and starts rubbing it, and we cut. And we. It's so weird.
He pulls out a tit, starts rubbing it.
Yeah, but that's exactly what it is. She just kind of sits down, pulls a tit out, rubs her hand over it, and we cut away as we see Kevin start to undo his pants. That's the scene.
No, that's a titty.
I mean, what more do you want me to say? I mean, that's what it is.
I just love the delivery.
We jump to Joe driving in Terry's car, and I should say it's more like Joe sitting in a car pretending to drive.
And while he's driving, he's flipping through the channels on the radio.
Yeah.
And it's like butt rock, and then turns the channel, punk rock, turns the channel, metal.
No. The first thing is the news report about Cork. Oh, and Richard Cork is like, fuck that, butt rock.
And then he goes like, this butt rock's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, but it's all almost exactly the same.
It is.
He keeps turning the channel like, no, that sucks. No, that sucks. This butt rock's just right.
Yeah.
Too hot, too cold, just right.
I totally agree with you. So anyway, we're taken to a quick flashback of Joe and his sister Julie talking in Julie's bedroom about the big game and the big party afterwards. It's boring, dumb, meaningless. We're skipping over it. We go back to Joe in the car. He pulls over. He
slams on his brakes.
Yeah, he slams on his brakes, and he starts fiddling around in the glove box where he finds a bunch of Terry's drawings, which is just like him killing people.
It's all art of like evisceration and people
dismemberment.
getting dismembered bodies.
It's a cliche shit. You also like teachers saw your kid drawing like, oh my god, this kid's drawing
psychological damage.
Yeah, he's gonna be bad. And along with a gun and a flashlight are also in the glove box.
And he seems totally cool.
Yeah, not like
totally
holy shit.
calm.
Why does he have a gun again? High school kid with a gun in his glove box, and Joe's like, cool, whatever. I'll take the flashlight.
Psycho murder drawings, pistol. He's like, oh sweet, a flashlight.
Yeah, exactly. No red flags there or anything. Jesus Christ. So we cut back to Bruce returning to Maddie by the fire. He's trying to tell her that there's someone else in the house, but she refuses to listen to him or even let him talk or listen to him because he didn't bring the drink she demanded. So she gets up, heads into the house to make the drink herself. And again, we're just hit over and over the head again with how awful Maddie is, to the point where it's just annoying, overdone, and just obnoxious. It's not even entertaining. It's just like, ugh. It's like your ears just start bleeding at this point. It's like, whatever. It all becomes like a background white noise kind of thing.
There's a subtle line you cross. I mean, yes, I understand you have to push pretty far to really make you hate a character. I think they did that pretty well in like Pool Party Massacre.
Yeah.
It's like they got pretty close to the edge. It's like, why do they even hang out? But they did a good job of like just pushing it to the edge. This one, they pushed it over the fucking edge and lit it on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so anyway, and now all of a sudden everyone's back inside the house. So they were all just by the fire. Maddie gets up, go make a drink, and now all of a sudden cut to them all in the house again. Lena and Sharon, they're off talking in one of the bedrooms. Maddie, Bruce, Mark, and Cameron are hanging out together drinking in the living room. Sharon ends up asking Lena what happened to Joe's sister. So here we get a little bit of backstory, but not much. Lena tells her that Julie's body was found behind the school's gym. Pieces of her were arranged in some sort of morbid collage and happened about 2 months after the big game. But that still doesn't tell us when the fuck that was.
I thought it was 2 months ago. I thought they said it was 2 months ago.
No, it was about 2 months after the big game.
Game.
It was 2 months after the flashback we just saw, which we still don't know when that was.
Oh.
So we still have no idea when any of this happened.
I thought it was 2 months ago. Okay, well, anyway. That's what I thought. That's what I took from it.
I can understand that, but no, it's not. Joe returns to the house, tells Cameron that he hit a deer with Terry's car.
Yeah, he's got blood all over the car,
hood.
the hood of the car.
Yeah.
Did we completely miss the part?
Yeah, you don't see it. We don't see this at all in the movie. There's nothing.
But
we always see is he slams on the brakes, and then he pulls a flashlight out of the glove box, and we cut away.
No. There's this scene where he finds the sleeping bag.
Oh, yeah, right.
Sees the
Okay,
sleeping
okay.
bag, walks over the sleeping bag, and he goes, ugh. And there's a dead fucking kid on the side of the road.
Oh, how did I miss that?
I don't know how you missed that. Because I'm like, whoa. There's a dead fucking kid on the side of the road. Like a child. He's just going, kind of shakes his head.
Well,
how did you miss that?
That explains a lot. Because
How did you miss that?
all right, that explains so much now. Because we have a drunken Cameron he like comes up and he's like, whoa, what happened to the car? And he's like, fuck off, Cameron. He's like, all right. He goes,
I hit a deer.
Yeah. And so Cameron wanders off alone as Joe, at this part, pulls out a body in a sleeping bag while talking to himself, saying, it was just an accident. Hide the body in the woods. No one will ever know. So that explains it. So I'm like, okay.
So this is a guy whose sister was murdered.
Yes!
He has a younger brother, which they showed earlier.
Yes.
And he just ran over a child who's in the middle of nowhere.
That's my next point. Like, what kid is out in the middle of like midnight on some back road in Louisiana by himself?
With like no lights whatsoever.
No lights.
And no homes in the area.
There's nothing.
Like an abandoned road.
It's like some feral child raised by the gators in the swamp or something. What is this kid doing out there?
He hits him with the car. And instead of being like, oh my god, I hit this kid, it's a dark road, I'm the captain of the football team, I'm the good guy. I'm being portrayed as the good guy.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, the good guy.
I have a family, I have a brother, I have a murdered sister. I know what loss is. Someone's gonna miss his child. Fuck it. Wrap him up in the sleeping bag and throw him in the swamp.
I don't think anybody's going to miss that kid because they obviously don't care enough because he's just out wandering around some road at midnight in the bayou of Louisiana.
Maybe that's what he thought. It's like, well, it's just some feral alligator kid. Yeah. I know there's a lot of them around here.
Jesus Christ. So, and yeah, Joe carries the body off. And as soon as he walks away from the car, Cork walks up and closes the car's trunk. I'm like, what the fuck is happening in this movie? What is Cork doing? Why is he out here now closing the trunk for Joe as he carries the body of a dead kid off?
Don't worry, man. I got it.
I know what you're doing. I got you. I've got your back here. I'm gonna close the trunk for you.
I'm on your side. I know how disposing of a body by yourself.
I'm gonna scrub the blood out of the trunk for you. I'm gonna start scrubbing that clean.
You need a partner sometimes, man.
Jesus, there's just so many fucking plot points going on. It's so shitty. Like, again, this is supposed to be a slasher, but like, it's not. Like, it's just this insane hodgepodge of.
You have a slasher.
Shit.
You have a murder cover up. You have ghosts.
Yeah. It's. And by the way, we're 51 minutes into the movie at this point, and nothing has really happened. Inside, a drunk Maddie strips down out of her clothes, crawls up the stairs, while Terry gets out of bed and tells Dawn that he'll be right back. Lena and Sharon still chatting it up in a bedroom. Lena suggests that they change into something more comfortable, something that the boys will like. So let's get slutty.
She's basically going to give her a makeover so she can get fucked.
Yeah, it's time to get slutty. Excuse me. Oh, God. All right. That was such a deep breath. Everybody's home was like, in one of the bathrooms, we see Maddie throwing up. Terry enters, stands behind her holding a knife, and he asks her if she's doing okay. And Maddie, like I said, they've been fighting the whole time. It just yells at him to leave her alone. And then Terry snaps. He just grabs her by the back of the head.
And he yells out so loud, fuck you!
Yeah, he screams.
As loud as he can.
And this is a small house, too. And he grabs her by the back of the head, slams her face down into the rim of the toilet bowl, which bursts her face and her mouth like wide open.
Breaks her teeth.
Yeah. Maddie screaming bloody murder, which, again, apparently nobody in this house hears. Terry then yanks her head back by the hair, and he stabs her in the stomach and then drags the knife across her abdomen. Still alive, Maddie's screaming, tries to crawl away, but Terry grabs...
everywhere.
The bathroom floor is covered in blood by now. He stabs the knife straight down her throat, just right into her mouth. Yeah. Once she finally dies...
Yeah, he cuts her tongue out.
Is that what it is?
Okay. He wiggles it around her mouth and manages to
I saw
cut
him
the
wiggling,
out.
doing it. I guess I didn't know what he was doing. So once she's dead, he uses Maddie's hair to wipe the blood off of his knife.
Gotta keep it clean.
Because I'm not really sure what the point of that was, because if you're trying to cover up the tracks, the bathroom, in fact, the bathroom floor is covered.
You are covered
He's
in blood.
covered in blood. The bathroom floor is just a giant, it's flooded with blood. And you're worried about the blood on your knife?
You don't want that blade sticking.
Apparently not. Jesus. So we cut to Terry dragging Maddie's body through the grass outside. So not only did no one in the house hear her screaming,
him screaming,
fuck you, or something like that. No one hears or sees Terry dragging Maddie's bloody
eviscerated body
down the stairs, which would be like thump, 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 through the house, out into the grass, leaving a trail of blood behind, which would obviously be happening. Nope. Nobody noticed.
Nope.
We cut to Cameron, who's pissing out in the woods. He looks over and sees Lena and Sharon dancing around the bedroom in their bras and pants. So now it's like an 80s college movie. It's like they're just dancing around, having like a little pillow fight, and like
it doesn't make any sense.
No,
they were talking about like we're gonna do a makeover, and then he just looks up and sees these two girls going, "Yeah, I'm a party in her bras and panties." Huh? There's a horrible murder that just happened right next door, and there's no boombox or anything.
Like right there.
I mean, in the next
yeah, you don't
room.
hear any music playing.
Oh.
They're just dancing around.
I don't mind the visual, but I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
Exactly. What is happening in this movie?
And he's looking up and going, yeah.
They're not even naked. They're barely even...
Well, I would be doing that. I'd go, yeah. But poor Cameron, he can't enjoy it too long.
No, because almost immediately he gets killed by someone coming up behind him and slitting his throat.
With a straight razor. He used a straight razor to cut his throat.
Was it a straight razor?
And blood. So I'm guessing it was cork.
Yeah.
But we don't see who it is.
No, you just see a hand with, I thought, like blade or something. Yeah, if you say a straight razor, then it was a straight razor. All right, we go to Bruce.
So Cameron's dead.
Yeah, Cameron's dead now. We go to Bruce, who wakes up a drunken Mark, asking if he's seen Maddie. And Mark's like, yeah, whatever. He mumbles something. It doesn't fucking matter. Bruce goes off to find her. Meanwhile, we see Terry get back into bed with Dawn.
No blood on him. Clean as a whistle.
Exactly. We cut to Bruce now crying in the bathroom.
Yeah, they hear him crying.
This is my point. Lena, Sharon, and Mark enter the bathroom to check on Bruce.
Because they all hear him crying.
He's weeping and crying. I'm like, this shit is bananas. No one hears Maddie screaming and getting brutally murdered, but they hear bitch boy Mark kind of weeping and crying quietly in a bathroom.
You're going full Gwen Stefani.
Yes!
This shit is bananas.
I mean, he's like curled up, like, he's got his arms around his knees, his head's down, so the sound would be more muffled because he's crying and
into his
arms and knees. But everybody suddenly hears that and they come running.
What's wrong?
Jesus
and then
Christ.
They see this room full of blood.
Oh my God, thank you, because they...
And they seem pretty okay with this.
No one reacts to the fact that the floor is covered in blood walls to wall blood. And they're like, whatever. Lena tells...
Why are you crying, Bruce?
Yeah, why? What's going on?
Why would you be crying?
Yeah. Lena tells everyone that they need to leave now. So like, oh, okay, now we need to, because Bruce is like, Maddie's dead, she's missing, blah, blah, blah.
Here's a bunch of blood. He goes,
here's her tooth.
Yeah, they go, how do you know it's her? He's like, look at all the blood.
Look at the fucking floor,
Look
bitch.
at these fucking teeth. Look at her fucking locket. And they're all like, oh yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I see it now. I didn't quite put it all together, the blood, the hair, the tooth and locket, but once you put them all together,
that's why
I get it now.
That's why you're here, Bruce. You're the smart one.
That's why you're the smart one.
Tying it together. Got it.
God damn it. So yeah, Lee's like, all right, we need to get out of here now. So they all rush out the door. On their way out, someone shouts out, for Terry to wake up and hey Terry, come on, we gotta get out of here. Outside, they run into Joe, who just out there for some reason. Well, I guess getting back from dumping the body.
Child murderer is back.
The group instantly thinks that Joe killed Maddie because he has blood on him. But Joe explains about, he's like, no, I hit a deer. And, and everybody's like,
car.
And instantly everybody's like,
Okay.
Oh, yeah, okay, totally buy it.
Makes sense.
Makes sense. No problem. Really, fuck faces? I mean, are you serious? You just saw a
Fucking bloodbath. Literally.
literally a bloodbath in a bathroom, and the one guy who wasn't there, you run to him covered in blood, and he said some story about hitting a deer, and you're instantly like, yeah, totally makes sense.
Hey, it's Joe.
Hey! He might as well just do the font double thumbs up. Like, hey, it's Joe. Hey!
I'm the starting quarterback.
Hey! Fucking idiots. So all they pile back into the cars, but now none of them start.
None of the cars can start.
None of them start. Joe tells the girls that he can fix the car and for them to go wait inside. He pops the hood to the car as Mark comes up saying his won't start either. And then Joe says, I'm not a mechanic. I don't know what to do. Even though 2 seconds ago he just told everyone, I can fix this.
You don't want to look like you don't know how to work on cars in front of girls, Marshall. Huh? You don't want to look like a bagagool. I don't know. I'm trying to be funny.
I know, but like, really, right? Like, Bruce is just crying in the backseat of Terry's car right now. He's still just crying. Dawn knows that Terry's gun is missing. Dawn can't.
But she seems way more concerned
But Bruce is crying
about cigarettes.
Yeah.
She's like, where are the cigarettes?
That's right. She was like,
the
"Where are my
cigarettes?
cigarettes? Where are the cigarettes?" I don't
And
care.
she-
I don't care that Maddie's dead. I don't care that the car's
missing.
Guns missing. Cars won't start. I want my fucking cigarette.
And Bruce is annoying me, who just lost his girlfriend, so I'm going to slap him a whole bunch.
She snaps on Bruce.
Beat the shit out of him.
She's like giving the business for like crying, calling him a bitch, and starts right, just
Calling
slap
him
him.
pussy,
Yeah,
saying no one likes you. The only reason
man,
Maddie
somebody
likes
get
you.
that girl a Marlboro Red, calm her ass down or something. Jesus.
She would smoke reds too. That dirty bitch.
Oh, they're fucking metalheads. You know they were Marlboros in the '80s. They were Marlboro Reds.
Had to be smoking reds.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Terry comes back and tells Dawn and Bruce to go inside. So we go inside where suddenly everyone is gathered. Even Joe and Mark and Terry, who are supposed to be outside working on the cars, but now they're all back inside. Joe tells them that none of the cars will start, which no fucking shit. Everybody already knows that. They realize now that Cameron's missing. They argue about what to do and who the killer is. Now suddenly we're back outside with Terry, Mark, and Sharon. What? Why are they outside again? Why, and why is it Sharon and Mark? Why are these three together? Like,
Well, so Terry's like, he's heading to the barn to go get
you look for Star and Kevin, I think.
Star and Kevin, and then the other two are in the yard. Goes, just look around the yard, look for clues, look to see if you can find something.
Look for body. Like,
yeah, he tries
but
to
really?
explain.
But
he
still,
says,
that's so stupid. Like, why would you be in the outside look? Okay, you're assuming she's dead anyway. All that blood, she's dead. Why would you risk going outside in the dark with what you still think is a killer on the loose? Why not just stay inside in the group with the lights on? It just doesn't make any sense for them to be outside at all. Except, I'll give you Terry because I'm going to go find the others because they're in the barn. I got to go get them. You guys stay here. That would make sense. But for Mark and Sharon to be outside is fucking retarded.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
So Terry does say, you stay in the yard. I'm going to the barn. And he says, don't follow me. He does say that. In the barn, a topless Star and Kevin are lying around talking their post-coitus bliss.
Oh, the bliss. She's like, I just got buzzed.
Yeah.
She's loving it, man. She is on cloud nine.
Yeah. Terry comes in, tells them to get dressed, that Maddie's dead. We jump back to the house. Dawn storms out now, freaking out again about this goddamn cigarette, still wanting that smoke. Joe goes after her. Now we switch to Mark and Sharon wandering around in the dark, and then we go right back to Joe and Dawn. Joe tells Dawn that cigarettes will kill, and to put go put the car. Oh, and stay by the car. He's like, cigarettes gonna kill you. You shouldn't smoke them. Stay by the car. I'll be right back. Ugh. That's what he says, and he goes off alone. In the barn.
So everyone just starts separating again.
Yeah. They're all perfectly fine together. Good plan. Now everybody's like, fuck it.
This isn't going to move the story forward.
No, it's just going to be stupid. Go wander around the dark woods by ourselves. In the barn, Terry is filling Star and Kevin in on what's happening. And then from out of nowhere again, Terry just suddenly stabs Kevin in the neck.
Just, he grabs a machete off the wall.
Just out of the blue, it's like, whack. It's, what? Why? Dawn starts screaming. Wait, no, Star. I'm sorry. Star screams. This time her screams are heard by Mark and Sharon. Terry trips Star, pulls out the machete again, cuts Kevin's head off.
Yeah, he does like a flip. He flips it before he cuts it.
Yeah, like he flips it up, catches it by the handle, and like one motion cuts the head
Look
off.
how cool I am.
Yeah.
You gotta have a little flair before you kill, huh? Gotta be a showman.
Star screams some more, runs out of the barn as Terry, holding a hatchet and machete now, yells out, "You get back here, you fucking slut." Again, nobody seems to hear this at this point.
Considering half the cast is outside.
Yeah, and this is not like miles apart. There's like the house and then the barn right next to it. They are not that far apart.
Not that far.
And they're in the middle of nowhere where sound would travel. Back to Sharon and Mark. Sharon takes off running into the woods now. Mark tries to go after her, but he trips over Maddie's body. Or a body. I'm assuming it's Maddie.
Yeah,
it was Maddie? Okay. Yeah. Inside, Bruce is still crying like a little bitch, while Lena paces back and forth, trying to figure out what to do. Bruce whines, some more that he's going to the bathroom, and he leaves Lena alone. She goes into the kitchen to look for a weapon, and again, suddenly all the cabinet doors fling open by themselves.
All the cabinet doors fling open, and now she's like, ah! But it doesn't do
it.
Anything.
Doesn't matter. No, it doesn't fucking care. Nobody cares at this point. It just what's happening?
So we have a child murderer who ran over a child.
Yeah.
We have serial killer Cork who's escaped.
Out in the woods, wandering around, closing people's trunks, helping them. Who knows?
Have Terry killing his friends.
Yeah.
And now we have ghost thing happen again.
Now we have like paranormal activity shit going on.
Jesus.
So outside, Mark catches up with Sharon. Sharon tells Mark that she doesn't want to die a virgin and basically orders Mark to fuck her right here and right now in the woods. Which, again, this would not happen. You're not going to, I understand, I got to get but seriously, you're not going to stop and have sex while you're basically, especially Mark just tripped over the dead body of their friend, sort of friend, but still, no, we're not having sex here.
Says, I don't want to die a virgin. Fuck me.
Yeah. And he's like, all right.
Remember how I told you to give it some leash, let it run?
Yeah.
Fuck that. Turn it into a goddamn choke chain.
Yeah.
Because goddamn, what the fuck is going on?
Exactly. So while Mark and Sharon are having bad, awkward sex in the woods, because it looks really shitty, Bruce pulls out a knife from seemingly nowhere.
Yeah,
he's in the bathroom, just pulls out a knife.
Now he's got a knife.
Yeah, and says to himself he's been passive for way too long. Okay, so all right, cool. So now we're going to see Bruce grow some balls, step up, be a badass, right? I mean, this is the moment.
Yeah.
Fuck no. Instead, he just slits his wrist and kills himself. What? What? Ah! I'm sorry, guys, if you don't, but geez, what the fuck is happening? Why? You say I've been passive for too long, and so instead of being proactive, I'm just gonna kill myself.
This is the Rambo moment, right?
Yeah.
He's like, nah.
This is where you rip a piece of your pants off and tie it around your head like a bandana. And
tie a piece of that Lacoste polo shirt.
Get that alligator right on the forehead.
Right in the middle.
Right in the real forehead. And you be a man. But no, he just fuck it. He just slits himself and fucking Niagara Falls of blood just start pouring out of his wrist and shooting up into the air. It's ridiculous amount of blood that comes out of this. But that's it. Bruce is done.
Bruce is dead.
He's dead. We go back to Lena, who's still alone. A door opens and in comes Terry, covered in blood. Lena wants to know why he's covered in the blood. Terry tells her that people are dead and that he killed them. Terry then attacks Lena, slamming her up against the wall. Outside, Mark and Sharon have finished fucking. Mark stands up, looking all proud of himself.
As he should.
Yeah. He instantly gets grabbed from behind by someone in a black hoodie. The person in the hoodie stabs Mark in his stomach, drags a knife across his stomach, again, basically gutting Mark. We go back and forth between shots of Terry and Lena struggling and the man in the hoodie stalking after Sharon. The man in the hoodie kills Sharon by impaling her with a pitchfork that just magically appears in his hands. He went from a knife to a goddamn pitchfork.
I didn't think about where it come from.
Where's the pitchfork come from? Like, he wasn't in the barn, and he didn't have it with him when he killed Mark. It's just there. So Dawn is now wandering around in the woods too, calling out for Terry, Terry has now mounted Lena and holds a knife just inches from her eyes. Dawn spots the man in the hoodie, tries to run away, but quickly trips and falls to the ground. The man in the hoodie stabs her through the back with the pitchfork. The prongs of the pitchfork impale Dawn, coming out through the front of her torso. She screams in agony and dies.
Sells it. It's a decent effect.
You. Yes, I will say, in my opinion, this is by far the best, most authentic scream of the movie. Mm-hmm. The best acting job in this entire movie.
Why didn't she get her nipple cut off? Yeah. Because she's selling it, man. It's a good shot.
This death scene for her was great. And the way it was shot, this is the only real, I would say, good part of the movie. She's dead now. We go back to Terry, who has mounted Lena. He rips open her silk lingerie top thing to reveal her bra. Terry reaches out, grabs a knife, which again is weird because he already had the knife, so now he's reaching for another knife. Yeah, I'm
maybe he put it away for a while.
Knives there are, which he then slowly runs the blade or tip of the knife down Lena's chest, through her cleavage and underneath the bra, like he's gonna cut it. At this point, the doors burst open and the man in the hoodie enters. He removes the hood to reveal himself, and to no one's fucking surprise at this point, it's Joe.
What?
Yeah. Again.
What?
I just want to scream. Like, I wish I had a Stone Cold Steve Austin all I could just, what? What? Because fucking A, man.
So, we have serial killer Cork.
Yep.
Serial killer Terry.
Yep.
Serial killer Joe.
Yep.
And ghosts.
And ghosts.
Oh, wait. Child murderer serial killer Joe.
Yeah. And ghosts.
And ghosts.
God. It's... Terry...
Take a breath.
I can't, man. This movie is just...
Take a breath. There it is.
All right, I gotta find my chi. I gotta center myself here. I get my chakras back in line or whatever that shit is. All right, so Joe orders Terry to get the fuck off of Lena or he'll kill him like he killed Dawn. Terry shouts back to Joe, "Did it ever occur to you that I killed your sister?"
Bum, bum, bum.
Terry goes on to say that he destroyed everything beautiful and pure in Joe's life and turned Joe into a scumfuck murderer like himself. Terry then stabs Lena in the eye with the knife.
In the face!
In the face!
Stabbed in the face!
This sends Joe into a rage. Joe attacks Terry. Again, I'd say, what the shit, man? What in the blue fuckery is going on in this movie?
You've already said that too many times.
I'm sorry. I can't stop.
Can't stop. Won't stop.
It's like a fucking can of Pringles. You can't stop with just one, man.
How many fucks do you have to give?
Yeah.
I thought you'd be out of them by now.
No. I have a bag of endless fucks.
Endless fucks to throw around.
If I want to go really nerdy for the D&D gamers, I have a bag of holding filled with just fucks right now, man. So Joe and Terry, they start fighting. Joe gets the upper hand, beats Terry down with the butt of his gun. Joe then shoots Terry.
But it's funny because when I'm watching them fight, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, my money's on the athlete. He's a varsity athlete against some scumfuck punk rocker who's big, but come on, he's a varsity athlete. And then he gets Terry down and starts hitting him with the gun. He goes, "I'm an athlete. You're a fucking punk." And I'm like, yeah.
He does yell, "I'm an athlete." That's such a weird thing to yell when you're beating somebody's ass. It's like, "Fuck you, motherfucker! I'm gonna kill you!" But I'm an athlete.
It's so funny because it's like he's saying what I'm thinking. I'm like, of course. When he said that, I was like, "All right,
I have a Irish milk kid on my wall. I got bully trophy." What? It's the weirdest thing to yell.
I play every sport there is. no match against me.
Right after Joe shoots Terry, we cut to Cork out in the woods, sitting by a fire.
Yeah.
Just sitting by a nice little campfire. Next to him is another person tied up in a sleeping bag. So is this the woman he cut the nipple off of? Is this a completely new person?
You don't see her get killed. So
No.
I was assuming it was the same girl.
At this point, I thought it was somebody else. I had no idea what was happening.
Might as well.
And I didn't fucking care anymore. It's just somebody else in a sleeping bag, and Cork's just having a nice little moment to himself by a campfire.
Having some s'mores. He got the marshmallows.
He does.
Yeah, he's probably just enjoying some s'mores.
We see Joe walk up, just shoots Cork, killing him, and then shoots the random person in the sleeping bag twice. Like, I think he unloads the gun into the person in the sleeping bag. It's like, what? Again, what? I can't fake this anymore.
Dude, it's not over.
I know! That's the worst part.
We still got miles to go before you sleep.
Joe drops the gun, turns around to leave, but gets stabbed in the gut by Terry.
Terry's back!
Terry's back!
He's only gone for a little bit.
He got his ass beat and gets shot, but he's back in like 2 minutes. Less than that.
Not even.
No, it's like 30 seconds.
He was pistol whipped, like he was beat up.
Yeah.
Pistol whipped like
several times.
4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
And then shot in the chest.
Yeah.
But
he's back up on his feet 30 seconds later.
And fucking tough as nails. Like he's
stealthy. Like Joe doesn't hear him chomping through the woods or anything.
No, like he's fucking fit as a fiddle.
And again, also makes me wonder, how far was Cork? Where was Cork? Was he just like outside the cabin, like, fuck it, I'm just gonna sit here by a cabin? They got fire. Is that the same bonfire that Terry started earlier?
Why not?
Did Cork just like, you know what? I like it here. Even though I'm an escaped convict and there's still people here who are probably more messed up in the head than I am. They're killing themselves.
Like, them's fucked up. I'm just gonna chill by this fire. Those kids got issues.
They got real issues.
I'm the guy who cuts off nipples, but I ain't going nowhere near that shit.
Yeah.
Staying out here with my s'mores.
So, Jesus. So, Terry tells Joe that he's going to go to Joe's house and kill his mother and brother. He tells Joe this while stabbing Joe several more times in the stomach. Now, at this point, I think we see Joe slowly pull a knife out of his own from like the back waistband. He pulls out a knife, but it's so dark at this point. I didn't really know, but I thought.
So you see Joe getting a knife, so I'm like, okay, he's gonna stab Terry. Something's gonna happen.
But it doesn't fucking matter like so much other shit in this movie because Terry just stabs Joe one more time. Joe dies. He dies, and Terry just lets Joe's body fall to the ground.
That dramatic scene where he's reaching for a knife to get Terry back.
Terry.
Nah.
Joe's dead. Joe's dead now. So Terry gets in his car and takes a well-deserved breather at this point, I imagine.
He deserves a little R&R.
But now we see a naked, blood-covered woman standing outside the car, outside the passenger's side window.
Oh.
Yeah, what's that? Terry looks her way, but she disappears. She disappears. Poof. Terry rests his head on the steering wheel, and as he lowers his head down, now we see that same woman holding a knife in the back seat behind Terry. And it's like she's about to stab Terry with a knife.
He sees her in the
Terry
mirror.
spins around. She's gone.
He has the knife raved. Gone.
Poof, she disappeared. So now Terry turns back to face the front of the car, and now he sees this woman on the hood of his car, and he's like frantically trying to start the car.
She's like flailing around.
She scrambles up to the roof of the car and out of sight. Terry fumbles again with the keys, trying to get the keys into the ignition. And he finally does, and the woman appears in the passenger seat next to Terry, where she lunges at Terry. She attacks Terry, like pounces on him, pounces on him. Cut to black. Roll the motherfucking credits. Dear God, what the fuck did we just watch? Because that is stabbed in the face. That's how this shit ends.
So, who was that? Was that a ghost? Was that a monster? Was that the lady who was killed? That was fucking the ghost.
It's the thing from was it? It Follows? Maybe I don't know. Is it Terry's last sex victim or something? I don't know.
What happened?
Or if she comes tonight, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but my guess is, okay, that bloody woman I'm thinking is supposed to be the mistress from the flashback of Mrs. Cooper.
Yes.
So that's the ghost of her. But God damn it, this movie has too much going on.
We have 1, 2, 3 serial killers.
2 serial killers.
And a ghost on top.
It's 3 serial killers and a ghost. What the fuck, man? There's too much.
I feel like we get 12 days of Christmas this shit.
I mean, yeah, okay, so exactly. I mean, I just got that 12 days of Christmas. Yeah.
3 serial
There's
killers.
so many questions in this movie that nothing gets answered. I mean, why do we have 2 serial killers?
3.
3. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
3. 3, yeah.
I mean, you killed multiple people. You get
Yeah.
classified. Yeah, you could be a serial killer.
Well, mass murders, yeah.
Yeah.
We have 3 main murderers. And then why was Joe a killer? That's never explained why he starts killing all these people. Never explained. There's never a hint of him having any dark side or any PTSD or any
issues other than his dead sister.
Yeah.
Which he seems to be handling pretty fucking
damn
good.
well, because
he wants to go have a
he's
party.
the star athlete.
And he wants to party.
Yeah.
And he's having a good time.
Yeah.
Seems pretty well adjusted.
So, and then why did Terry kill his Joe's sister in the first place? That's never explained. And that just comes out of left field. It's like, dude, I killed your sister? And so, okay, you killed Joe's sister. Now, why are you killing everybody else? Like, there's no explanation for any of these. There's no motives.
Here's my reach. And I'm reaching here.
Okay.
All right. Hear me out. They're at this haunted place. And it's obviously haunted because we see doors open and lights come on. Maybe
are you going a possession route?
The bad mojo.
Are you
of the
seriously going to play a
place,
possession card?
giving them evil thoughts?
Fuck you. No. Fuck you.
Causing people to kill each other, act sexually deviant, cut their wrists open.
No, because Star was already a sexual slut before.
Extra. Even the Virgin went slutty before death. So that's a reach. If it is,
You're
they
saying
didn't
this
explain
movie suddenly became the Black Room, is what you're
Yes,
saying.
yes. It's just the aura, the energy of the place brought out all their inner
That
demons.
is way too much credit you're giving this movie. Way too much.
Yeah.
No way.
Hence the reach. Hence the reach.
You're beyond Stretch Armstrong reaching there.
Like Mr. Fantasticing this shit over here.
Mr. Fantastic couldn't even reach that reach. There's no way. This movie is a grab bag of shit and ideas that they just didn't know what they wanted to be. They needed to pick one and stick with it and focus on that one. Because, you know what? I really wanted to like this movie. I had high hopes for it going in. I knew it was going to be independent and low budget. I knew that. And I was prepared for that. But god damn, this movie let me down on like every imaginable level.
Don't show your cards or anything, Marshall.
Yeah. It's so infuriating, It's so because I thought it had potential to be something.
I really like the punk rock start.
Yeah, I mean there was, I don't know.
Poops, come on.
The Poots, Poots. Look them up. I don't even know if they're a real band. Probably they are. All right, so that guy was fucking stabbed in the face. Let's move on to favorite kill.
Don't act like you didn't love it. Favorite kill.
All right, Aaron. I'm running out of energy for this movie. So, what's your favorite kill this week?
I gotta say, the gore wasn't too bad for an indie, low-budget movie. The gore was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't the best. We've seen better, but it was still decent.
Okay, I'll retort with that later. But okay,
it was still decent in my opinion. I liked when Maddie got killed in the bathroom. Because that kind of started it all off, all the shit show that we had. But at least to start off, the slam into the toilet, the stab in the stomach, and evisceration. She didn't die. I like the fact that she didn't die right away. Still trying to climb around. She's screaming, he's screaming. It was kind of intense. That was my favorite kill.
Okay. Mine, I see your point with Maddie, but I'm thinking just pure performance standpoint. I'm going with Dawn and the pitchfork.
That was a good one.
Because the way she sold it, I mean, that was just by far the best acting. That was the It was only like a 5-second scene, 10 seconds maybe at most, but that was by far the best part of the whole movie. It's just her selling of that kill.
My honorable mention is the decapitation. I thought that was kind of fun because it was a two chopper. He chopped him once in the neck, and it was kind of hanging on. And when he cut again, the effect wasn't great, but I did like they showed the hands, and he gave him the finger. We didn't mention that. I forgot to mention,
which again would be completely impossible.
But it was funny. It was funny. He gave him the one finger. The other hand was still like just twitching around, but the other one's like,
he does give him a finger.
Which I liked, and there should have been more of that kind of stuff to make it more fun. Because you start off with the poots singing "Poo on You."
I will say that when the movies, I kind of go with that. So it's like we had that argument with 420 Massacre. We have a name that's stabbed in the face, and you have a band called the Poots singing "Poop on You" or "Poops on Me" or something. To
start off the movie,
like it should have been way campier. Like if they would have gone campy and silly, I probably would have been way more on board and could have handled all this garbage that they did. But they really tried to be way too serious with us, and it's made it even worse.
So there's your favorite.
Yeah, favorite. So Maddie and Dawn for us. Let's move. Okay, now let's go into the odds and ends.
Not only did they watch these films, they researched them too. Ugh, what is wrong with these guys?
All right, so starting off with our ratings. Let's see where we got. The odds and ends go real fast this week, guys.
Well, it's an indie film from 2004.
Yeah, IMDb gives it a 5.3 out of 10. That blew my mind. Rotten Tomatoes, it's not even on the site. And Amazon gives it a 2.6 out of 5. Plot keywords, there were only 10. You want to take a guess?
Stab?
Stabbing, yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right. Bra?
No.
Bras were prominently featured.
I know.
Yeah.
Again, my bra and panty guys are letting me down.
That sucks.
I've lost all faith in our panty lovers because there was so much bra and panties in this movie. Like they would have been they would have been busting their pants or in their panties, if you will.
Busting their panties. I think we might have to drop the whole panty lovers.
We might have to. Yeah. I don't want to because it's been for long. It was so insane of a record they were going. That's like a Cal Ripken Iron Man record that just panties everywhere. But they're dropping the ball, man.
Panty lovers, you're letting us down. Okay.
So pop keywords: party, Halloween, murder, nerd, stabbing, violence, slasher, nudity, blood, and stabbed in the face.
Stabbed in the
face. Trivia, nothing. Got nothing for you. Budget, nothing.
Dang.
Couldn't get. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But we do go into 5-star reviews.
These special movies have a place in these special people's hearts. 5-star reviews.
All right. Now, there are only 8 total reviews for this movie.
Really?
Only one of them is 5 stars.
Oh, please tell me it's someone who worked on it.
I wish. Oh. I fucking wish. But from Eric S. Carl Jr. writes, great low-budget throwback to the slasher flicks of the 80s, 5 stars. Really? No. No. Not at all. 1-star reviews, because, like I said, there are only 8 total reviews. From Tony, just writes, horrible, don't waste your time, 1 star. And from Cody Bynum, this made me laugh, boo-boo ass movie, 1 star.
Boo-boo ass movie.
Boo-boo ass movie. That's the first, I haven't heard that, boo-boo ass.
Solid review.
It's a boo-boo ass movie.
Don't watch this boo-boo ass movie.
Boo-boo. So, all right, that's it. Real fast. All right, Aaron, let's wrap this up. Stabbed in the face, man. Take it away.
I really wanted to I was in when this movie started.
Right.
I liked the intro. I liked the classroom scene. It was kind of cool. They showed the characters, and they were kind of like showing their character with nonverbals while the music played. They start off in the party scene, the house, and like we mentioned earlier, takes us back. We can identify a lot with this type of party, with this type of situation. This is stuff that we experienced in our high school and early college days.
Yes.
So it was like, all right, man, I'm fucking in. It's a punk rock, low budget horror film. Take it away, boys. You got me so far. Don't let me down. But then it just kept going, bump, 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 bump. The bar got lower and lower and lower. And I was just so bummed. And I kept holding out faith and hope that it was just going to come back and something was going to, like, the gore was pretty good, but not good enough to save it. I like the eviscerations. I thought they did a lot of stomach cuts and lots of guts spilling out, which was pretty decent.
You know, for a movie that's called Stabbed in the Face, there are way more people getting stabbed in the stomach than in the face.
It's true.
You kind of lost your hook there, stabbed in the face.
Well, they had two that I could think of. Maddie and the chick who got stabbed in the eyeball.
Lena, yeah.
One got stabbed in the mouth, one got stabbed in the
Yeah,
eye.
yeah.
Yeah, so... But I was still holding out faith, still holding on. Actually, I thought Terry, the killer, did a decent job delivering his lines. I thought he was pretty intense. I'm not saying it was an Oscar-worthy performance or anything, but I thought he did pretty good. I thought they had elements all there, but there was just so much weird shit going on. I almost wish they would have used my theory of it kind of being a haunted place, infecting people and causing everyone to, like, exploit their worst possible traits. Too much sex, suicide, serial killing. All that could have been done. It could have at least explained what the fuck was happening, but no.
Yeah. The more, well, actually, no, the way you put it that way, the more I was thinking about it, that would
Make a little bit more
work.
sense.
It could work. I mean, especially like, you know, or you could play up like, you know, the ghost and like, you know, Seven Sins or something.
This place is so
everybody's fears,
damaged and bad.
Negative energy to bad juju.
Yeah, you could have tied in some bad juju. I mean, you're in the fucking South, the home of voodoo.
Yeah,
you know, I mean,
somewhere in Louisiana anyway.
But no, it just.
Yeah.
And I want to like it. I really want to like it, but I'm gonna have to say it's so bad it's scary.
Yeah. Obviously. I'm pretty
I think
sure
we know how you feel about it.
But I want to comment. You were talking about the gore for a second before. Now it reminded me that on like the box, as we commented this off here like the other day, on the DVD box, like one of the blurbs on the back says enough sex and gore to keep you watching or something like that.
Enough gore and sex to keep you watching. Dot.
So you know, I'm like, that's like, at first I was like, really? That's the blurb? And I'm like, oh, great story, great Nick. It sucks, but there's just enough gore and nudity to keep you watching.
Enough tits and blood to keep you watching.
But that made me think, like, if that's what they're saying, there's enough gore to keep you watching, and that's what they're trying to hang their hat on is the gore. Again, I'm saying, no, they failed again, because I didn't think it was that gory. It was bloody, but it wasn't that gory. I mean, they had insane amounts of blood, but the gore wasn't that great. It wasn't anything that we hadn't seen before. It wasn't anything new. It wasn't particularly, you know, well done. Like, for the fact that that's their selling point, like gore. You know, it's just so that they failed to me in that too.
Well, in an indie film, I still think it was better. Better than some indie films. Maybe not the best,
right?
But still, I thought it was good enough. I thought it was enough gore and blood,
I'll give it. Well,
yeah,
I'll give it a C-. It's passing, but I'm just saying it's.
You're a harsh educator there,
well,
my friend.
I'm based on the fact that if you're going to advertise gore as one of your key features, you better bring it. You know, or you know, you're setting yourself up to a higher standard that when you don't bring it, then yeah, I grade it harsher because if you don't advertise gore, I'm like, oh yeah, it's pretty solid. But if you're gonna say gore, you better fucking bring your A game. You know, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I'd give it a B. You give it a C-. You barely pass.
Hey, it's still not D-. D- would have been passing still.
D is for diploma.
It is. D is for diploma. That was my mantra throughout high school math. Anyway, so yeah, I wanted to like it. I was on board, even though I thought the opening of the classroom was really cheesy and the music sucked, but I got it. I was on board. Just like you said, the high school, the party, I relate. I really, really wanted to get on board and like this movie. I was hoping this was going to be along the lines, not saying it's the same, but like along the lines of like,
Don't Fuck in the Woods.
Don't Fuck the Woods, Pool Party Massacre, these other low-budget independent movies that we had no hopes for going in, or maybe had some hopes for it, but they exceeded our expectations. And we're like, oh my God, these are actually good. I wanted this so badly to be there.
Me too.
But God damn, did they fuck it up by throwing so many different plot points and shit in it that it made it a convoluted mess of nothing with no answers, more questions, no reason to any of it. It's just fuck.
Too many holes. I mean, all the screaming, the constant screaming, and everyone just dancing their bra and panties instead, you know?
So, yeah, so bad, scary, guys. Pass on this one. Luckily, it's pretty easy to do because, you have to buy it.
You have to go out of your way to watch this one.
My dumbass bought 2 copies of it. So I think this will be one that will be featured in one of our next movie giveaway. I'm pretty sure. So some lucky winner will win a copy of Stabbed in the Face.
Hey, it's great cover art.
It is great cover art. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap up for this week. We'll be back soon with another episode with another horrible horror movie. In the meantime, guys, remember to watch more horror movies and to always remember to keep it tight.